Hi everyone, we're here today. We're going to be getting Daisy's feet trimmed, getting them shoed. We've already done the first ones, and we've got Tony, who is our farrier. He's going to be doing her toenails, her hooves, and he's going to show you how it's done.
So yeah, we've already got the fronts done, so we're just going to catch doing the back one. We'll probably get a good...
You can see they're kind of overgrown. They're kind of warping out a little bit. Got a little bit of cracking. And she's got nice pretty ones up here that she's done already. You can see already cleaned them off nice. So he's going to get started on the backs.
So if you come over on this side, you can see how chipped out these back feet are. And that's just kind of when they start getting overgrown and, you know, too much weight gets pushed on the outside of that hoof wall, it kind of just starts making it flare out and just chip out like that. So that's why. I'll just start with the foot cleaned out nice.
So that's just mud and manure in there, right?
Yep. A lot of that, and you know, a big reason you could just clean it out with my knife or something, but if you got a rock in there, or you know, it's a good way to see any nails, because that's a good way to damage your tools if you have rocks or nails stuck up in there.
And this doesn't hurt her at all.
Nope. Everything that farriers cut into is insensitive structures.
So just like
they're doing it right.
Just like your fingernails.
You can very easily go into sensitive structures that are just below. Like for example, see I'm cutting into that frog. If I go much below that, I'm going to cut into what's called the sensitive frog.
Oh, okay. Different types of frogs and horses. Hoof area.
And they usually kind of give you a good indicator if you've cut a little deep, because you know, it'll either start bleeding or they'll kind of jump a little bit.
Now, if you guys could smell all this stuff coming out of there, it's not the greatest smell because it's been stuck up in there, just decomposing for a while. So you gotta go and make sure you clean that out every so often.
Especially as we're going into winter here, when the ground gets wet and muddy and stuff, it just creates a harvest for bacteria and fungus. So it's really important to kind of at least get out there a couple times a week and pick out their feet, let some air get up in there, and that helps a lot. On me right now.
So Daisy's getting a little lazy over here and putting all her weight onto Tony's back. Makes his life a little bit more difficult.
Hey, come on. Okay.
Are you trying to get it all flat? Is that
Yep.
what we're doing here?
So with their feet, kind of one of the biggest things you want to do when you're trimming them is making sure that their foot is trimmed to a nice level surface. Leaving their feet unlevel, kind of, it's like if your shoes weren't level and you're walking around like this,
Oh, we
and you
don't
ask
want
the
that.
horse to start running, you're going to be running. It's going to put a lot of strain on their fetlock and pastern and other joints. So it's very important to get their feet level when they trim. It will also if the foot's not very level and you put that shoe on, a lot of times it'll just pop the shoe right off.
Okay.
So you risk hurting the horse and losing your shoes too if you don't get that foot level. All this extra sole can come out.
And how often do you recommend we get her feet done?
About every 8 weeks. Because like her backs aren't so bad. They don't grow as quickly as the fronts. But you remember how flared out those front feet were.
Mm-hmm.
And we probably, when did we trim her last? It was probably, what, like 4 months ago?
Yeah, it was in the summer.
Right, so it's like I was saying, they start flaring out. It's going to be very difficult to get her feet at a good balance if she's only getting trimmed every 4 months, because each time it's just going to keep flaring out and you start from square one. Versus if you get them on a good 8-week schedule, you can keep adjusting that and keeping those flares in so you don't run into that issue.
So the shoes are kind of like braces where they keep everything in line and make sure it's not going to go too wild as she grows.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's not going to, the shoes aren't going to prevent her feet from growing a certain way.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
All the shoes are there for is support and protection. So that's probably why she lost her shoes already and that other horse didn't, because they flared out so much that it just popped the shoe off
Okay.
when they get so long. Another important thing is kind of the reason you see farriers always trimming the sole down. You know, it's, well, yeah, it looks pretty and everything, but it's to keep them from having sole pressure. So when their sole grows below the hoof wall, they'll start walking on that, and that creates a lot of pressure up in their foot and can actually restrict their blood flow.
Oh, wow.
That's why when you see, it's very common, I'm sure you've seen horses, they have bruising in here and it gets really red. That's most of the time, if it's not like a rock bruise, that's coming from sole pressure. So that's why you see farriers always kind of clipping that down.
All right.